then. He said, no.
Alright, there you go. Alright, call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Trustee Myers. Trustee Datillo.
Here.
Trustee DeSantis.
Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes. I'll make any changes or anything to the minutes.
No.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve regular meeting of May 12, 2025 minutes.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Next trustee meeting will be July 14, 2025 at 1454 Green Corners Road at 7 p.m. No old business, no new business, so we'll go right to the agenda. Motion to approve 2025-6-1, increase supplemental appropriations 3102, interest payment in the amount of $51,020. Amount?
This is for the interest payment for the park bond.
Any questions?
Nope.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve 2025-6-2, increase revenue budget 3102, park bond in the amount of $51,020. So same thing, Mel?
It just goes along with the payment. You have to increase the appropriations, increase the budget, and transfer the money.
Any questions?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve transfer of $51,020, transfers out 100-910-000 to 3102-901-00, interest payments for Chase Bank. No, just moving money.
Yes, we're moving it from the general fund to this payout for Chase Bank.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-6-R1, approving a contract between the Board of Trustees of Porter Township, Board of Trustees of Trenton Township, Board of Trustees of Kingston Township, and the Board of Trustees of Berkshire Township, and the Commissioners of Delaware County, and the Board of Trustees of Delaware County Transportation Improvement District for improvements to Stockwell Road. We went over this last month. Does anybody got any questions on it?
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-6-R2, pledging certain tax increment financing revenues to be used for debt service on bonds issued by the Delaware County Finance Authority and approving a cooperative agreement with M20 Realty. Tyler?
Yeah, so this is just allowing Mercedes, who is building there at that southeast corner of the intersection of 37 and Wilson Road, to be able to use the taxes it's spinning off in our TIF up there in order to pay for the public infrastructure that they'll be building as part of their development.
Any questions? Nope. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-6-R3, authorizing the township administrator to effectuate a memorandum of understanding with Delaware County Health Department for the reimbursement of funds associated with Healthy Communities Micro Grant Award. Tyler?
And so this goes back to last month, in which Tracy ended up winning an award for us from the health department in order to install some cornhole boards outside to go with our park. This is just the official agreement, so once it is signed, we can actually pay for the boards and then become reimbursed for that cost.
Any questions? All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Datillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-6-R4, declaration of nuisance and abatement of nuisance for pursuant to revised code 505.87 on real property located at 9743 Cheshire Road, Sunbury, Ohio 43074, Delaware County, permanent parcel number 417-133-01-018-00. Tyler, if you want to go over that.
So I will actually be recommending that we do not approve this resolution and skip over. This was on here just in case that property there up at Chester Road did not clean up all of the debris and just furniture they had on the side of the road, going up on the east side there of Cheshire Road. As of today, I believe myself, zoning inspector, and at least one or two of the trustees have all drove by. I do not believe this property is any longer at the level of a nuisance to be declared for by this point.
All right, so we just take.
Okay, so I got a question.
Yes.
Obviously, we've had a problem. I've had to call her multiple times. I think you've called her multiple times. She did get it cleaned up the last time I called her. If we pass this and she lets it go again, is this not effective?
It would be declaring the current state of the property, so if there's nothing there now, something in the future, we could not declare preemptively a nuisance.
But Tyler, if we table it, then if something arises, we can pull it off the table. Is that correct?
Yes, we could, but we could also remove it and just add it back on. It's both will work in the future.
Okay, so we'll be looking at this month by month.
We can do that.
Yep.
As of right now, I believe there are no tenants at the property, so I believe
Right.
that will help. The old tenants moved out at the end of the last month. Our hope was by this meeting, the old tenants would have been out and the owners of the property would have cleaned it up. That seems to be the case. So hopefully the issue no longer persists since the individuals causing it are no longer there.
How do you know the tenants moved out?
Huh?
How do we know the tenants have moved out?
Because I called her last Friday and she said they moved out, and that's all the junk that they left.
Oh,
So they had to go clean it up. My fear is if she gets another tenant, is this gonna reoccur? Because it seems like to me they're just not strict enough about how their tenants have to maintain their property, but what you're saying is what would have to do. Just redo it.
Okay. All right, motion to approve resolution 2025-6-R5, declaration of nuisance and abatement of nuisance pursuant to revised code 505.87 on real property located at 1881 Blaney Road, Sunbury, Ohio 43074, Delaware County, permanent parcel number 417-110-10-670-01. We've gone through this every year. Those are my neighbors, and we do this every year, at least once or twice. And this house is abandoned. So grass is up over our knees, so they will get a contractor in to cut it, and then we may have to do it again depending on the weather, if it grows again at the end of towards fall. So, any questions?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
Vote?
Trustee Meyer.
yes.
Trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
yes.
Right. Holly, you're up for the Delaware Health Department.
Hello, I have about 3 announcements tonight. The first one being we have released our summer tour for our mobile medical unit. It's going around the county this summer, getting vaccinations, screenings, things like that. You can also call to make an appointment as well, or you can just find out the schedule and just appear where they're scheduled to be that day. Secondly, we are actually seeking feedback from Delaware County residents in relation to food accessibility, just because there are pockets of need in Delaware County, regardless of us being the wealthiest and healthiest county in the state. And there's actually going to be some in-person meetings going over that feedback, and participants can enter a raffle to win a $25 grocery store gift card by attending those meetings. And then lastly, we have a local coalition for youth suicide prevention, and we host a event every September, because September is Suicide Awareness Month, and we usually do a 1.5 walk that raises money and awareness that occurs at Ohio Wesleyan University. Anyway, for the walk, there's usually 200 to 300 participants each year. This will be the 14th annual walk, and we are asking students anywhere between middle to high school age that go goes to school at a Delaware County school district or Ohio Wesleyan students to actually design our t-shirts for us this year. It's just kind of difficult to connect with students this time of year considering they're out of school. So we're just trying to reach as many kids by kind of connecting whoever adults are in their lives by getting the word out. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
I have a question. I heard on TV or radio that Lyme's disease has increased in the state. How is it doing here in Delaware County?
I can confirm that I think it's pretty much increased in our county as well. I have not talked or spoken directly with our environmental colleagues, but I know we've released some information about ticks and tick awareness recently. I can definitely get with Tracy and send her an electronic version of what we're seeing currently, so that way you can get specific data on that.
Now, the common tick I heard also carries a variety of different
Diseases,
I
yes.
didn't know that. I just-
Yeah, I can get Tracy information, and then we just released information today on our social media page about a certain poison plant that seems to be widespreading in Northeast and all over Ohio as well. So I can get her that information for folks to kind of be aware of what that plant looks like and how to avoid, because there's all sorts of measures, not even to mow it or things like that. So I'll send her some facts and FAQs.
Thank you.
Tyler, you're up for ditch mowing policy.
Thank you. So we have, as a maintenance department in township, ended up seeing a host of individuals not want their ditches mowed for a variety of reasons, whether it's lilies, plants, this or that. And we have kind of, on a case-by-case basis, decided whether or not to mow a certain area, so long as it can continue to be safe for the roadway. Kind of continuing going forward, I thought it might be best to adopt some sort of policy for situations in which we would not mow an area. And so to you three trustees, what I am recommending is that the township attempt not to mow, because accidents do not happen if 3 sets of circumstances are met. One, the property owner tells us they don't want something mowed, and or we would prefer they put up a no-mow sign. That way we can easily see it when we're out there. Second, the area they do not want mowed does not present a road safety hazard, so there's no sightline issues, there's no issues with cars going through. And then third, not mowing that area does not cause a safety issue for our maintenance men or their equipment of having to go around it, causes some sort of issue to them. Of all 3 of those go through, not mowing different areas that we would have otherwise mowed.
And the township and the maintenance men will make the call on what's safe and what's not safe. Okay.
What about drainage?
Drainage would be one of the safety issues, so if it's causing a drainage issue, we would have to mow it out to ensure there is no flooding.
Do we know how many areas of cattails we would have around the township?
Cattails themselves, I'm not so sure. Most of the non-mowing is for things like lilies or flowers or something that happens to be in a spot that people don't want. Mow. Cattails are part of it, and I think that would, more than the flowers, potentially cause a drainage issue that we would have to make sure is mediated for deciding not to mow something like that.
So it's mostly not sightline issues, there are any sightline issues with not mowing. That's kind of obviously it's the safety component.
That would be the number one thing we would have to check before deciding not to mow sightline. Going, if it causes any sort of potential issue for drivers, we're mowing it regardless of whether someone wants it or not, because it's just a safety issue for everyone else driving through. That's the first thing we would check.
This is the same policy we had last year.
It's what we've been doing. We just never
Put a policy.
put a policy on it. It's what I think we came together for, but never actually expounded.
Do we need to make a resolution on this? or-
No resolution, it's just kind of trade policy, just more motion to approve a policy that I'm not so sure all 3 trustees are on board, so I may have all.
I'm just curious, are we going to post it somewhere? How is this going to be?
This is be an internal policy. Most situations is just a property owner coming over and saying, why did you mow that? And then us having a discussion. That's almost 100% of the time that we hear from a property owner is them upset that something was mowed, having a discussion about what we need to mow. And then seeing whether we can make everybody happy so long as there isn't a safety issues, specifically sightline.
But the no mow sign should be an absolute necessity
Yes. To ensure that.
to ensure.
Yeah.
That's after we give them the okay.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine. We did last year. Okay, good.
Yeah. Just concerned a little bit about liability, but
Well, our guys are out on the roads all the time and they will monitor this. And if there's an issue, then they will get Tyler out there too, or me, since I have the roads, and we'll determine that if this is an issue. And talk to the neighbors.
I think part of the policy can be, before approved, we can designate a trustee, I can say trustee Datillo and the administrator, both sign off on a non-mow to ensure that there is not, and what we can do is maybe add to this policy every so often, or make it every month, every couple months, double check to ensure a safety issue or drainage issue has not occurred within the interim, to ensure there's no issue, just have that check mark off.
That'd be fine.
And I know I talked to the maintenance man, and I told him, I don't want to see everybody in the township putting out lilies so that they're constantly raising it all the way. Just, I mean, you gotta be consistent. Yes. We can't spend all day figuring out where we're gonna raise and lower. So with our discretion, that kind of keeps a cap on it.
And really, safety and drainage are the number one priorities.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right, with that, then we will go into public participation. Okay, don't everybody jump up all at once here.
Hi, Ellen Hollywood Drive. 3 questions. When Tyler suggested that the board table the resolution about the nuisances on Cheshire Road, should that have been voted on by the trustees?
I discussed tabling it. Instead of doing that, we skipped it, which has the same effect. If it's not brought up and not voted on, it dies on the vine and it can be raised again later.
Okay, good. 2 other questions. Has anybody reported their Rumpke's containers being stolen?
No,
Okay, because mine has disappeared. And I live on a street that ends up in a cul-de-sac, so I'm kind of surprised it's gone. I've called Rumpke.
They will get you another one. Mine came up missing last year and nobody stole it. I think what happened was it accidentally got dumped into the dumpster.
Well, I
That was
know
my
that-
theory.
Well, mine was returned, I was emptied on Thursday, I brought it back. And then over the weekend,
Somebody went up to your house and stole your.
well, I don't bring them all the way back to the house because the driveway is too long, I have 2 compression
sense.
fractures in my back. I'm not allowed to do that.
Why would I mind? I'm not doubting you. I just wonder why somebody would steal that.
I don't know why, and I actually checked the street to see whether.
You have to wonder if some kids were.
Again, I live on a street that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The fact we don't have that many kids on the street, like, why would it
Did
disappear?
Rumpke get back with you, ensuring you'll receive another receptacle?
I had to fill out a form, and I had to go to the library to do that and download it, I sent it back, so it'll take like 7 to 10 days to get it.
If there's any issue, please let me know so Tracy and I can get on it to make sure you receive it.
Okay, because now that Tom's gone, I have like 2 Kroger's bags of trash, and we have a lot of recycles, so I sort of miss having the container. Other comment, the bug people are back again. The companies that are selling all that, I had one last week, I had another one tonight, they're both on Segways. The guy that was there tonight said his company wasn't there last week, but I don't know whether everybody's using Segways. Do they need permits to go around? Because it's annoying, because they come around at dinner time and it's like, seriously?
do we have the green, what's it called, green? Ordinance in where they're not allowed to.
As far as I'm aware, I do not believe we do. I mean, nothing stops us from immediately putting one in. I will caution the practicality of enforcing it. We can put one in to at least have that in there.
Because they're very persistent.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, I had
So-
two of them come by my place last
They're
week.
down
too.
line.
and they don't accept the fact that you don't answer the door, because they just keep ringing the doorbell, so you have to answer the door.
I mean, we can do that, but the difficulty is making them,
Enforcing it.
and not only enforcing it, but making companies aware of a non-solicitation is, you know,
How about a sign in front saying no solicitation?
I suppose
In
I could
every-
do that. But it's, again,
That's not enforceable.
last year they came and tested the lights out of me and they started. So there's nothing I can do except putting in no soliciting sign.
which unfortunately,
And how is that enforced? Once they keep.
Yeah, that's the issue.
They may not, you got a 50-50 chance of them not stopping.
Yeah, the practicality is there's not much.
50-50 chance of stop,
Say that again?
but you have a 50-50 chance of them stop.
So you only get one a week instead of two. No, I do apologize. I wish there was something more, but just with county sheriff doing the important work that they do, the lack of us having someone out to catch and then stop somebody, it's just practically, it's a nuisance that,
well, that's the difference between policy and ordinance.
yeah,
The only way you could even get them to is if we had a code, which,
we do not have the ability to levy a fine like a city would. or something
right,
like
so
this.
we can't, and I'm not sure the sheriff would come out if it was, hey, they're violating our policy.
So if I show up at the door with my gun.
Tell them that you're in imminent fear.
Well, we cannot give that advice, but I'll make sure.
All right, anyone else? Okay, so I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Vote.
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Patel.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Vote.
Trustee Myers.
Yes.
Trustee Patel. Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Well, have a good vacation.